Hi, today I'm going to show you how to close up a hole in an item that you've stuffed. So I've got a raindrop and I've sewn the seam up on the inside, turned it the right way out and then stuffed it through the hole that I've left. So now that it's nice and firm with stuffing, I want to sew up the hole, but I don't want it to be visible, so I'm going to use a ladder stitch. So you put your needle in on the inside and come up along the seam line, and then you do a stitch in onto the seam and then back out onto the material, and you come from one side to the other and go in underneath on the same side. So you're creating the appearance of a ladder. So the cotton thread, it's a single strand of cotton thread, is going backwards and forwards across the opening in a ladder shape like that. And then you can, when you pull it tight, you can see that you can't see you can't see the stitches. You can leave the stitches loose whilst you're sewing it up. That doesn't matter, because when you pull it tight, because of the style of the stitch, it'll all just pull together nicely. It's quite a quick process, and you can use a matching thread which will help disguise the stitches even more. I've used a contrasting thread so that you can see where my stitches are going. And you carry on backwards and forwards across the opening. My thread's a little bit long, so it's catching on the top, and in fact my needle's just come off. I shall rethread it and carry on. And you want your item to be stuffed well, but not with the stuffing spilling out of the opening. So you go backwards and forwards until you get to the end, and you'll notice the end just bunches up a little bit, so you just need to use your finger to push that, tuck that in, or use the end of your needle to tuck that in. And then to make your last few stitches, keep it nice and flat. And once you get to the end, you've sewn up the hole, you go back in along your row of machine stitches that you've created as the seam, nice and tight so that all the hand stitching you've just done is hidden, and do a couple of knots along that seam line just to finish off. And then push your needle back in through the seam line and out into the body of the item so that your thread is hidden inside the stuffing. And there you have one finished seam, and when it's hung up it's not visible. You can also, if you've got an item like a soft toy, you can cut in through the main bit of the material if you've got an underneath or a bit that's going to be hidden by a piece of clothing or something like that that you'll add later. You can always do a ladder stitch across an opening. It doesn't have to be on a seam, but seams tend to be neater because obviously you can see it if it's on the main body. I hope that's been helpful. Any questions, please don't hesitate to leave a comment on the blog and I'll be happy to answer them. Thanks for watching.